Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I put together this brand new deck. It is a variation of a similar deck that I played pretty recently with, but one thing I noticed this season is the need for probably 2 light spells. Just seeing how much spam and swarm I'm seeing right now, I think it makes sense. And on top of that, you know, having a troop of some sort as well is also going to be super useful just for, you know, taking things out. There's a lot of knights, there's a lot of mega knights going around, a lot of P.E.K.K.A.s. So in that case, you know, that's why the E-Wiz kind of makes sense. It also helps for air defense as well, which is pretty big because Witch can get taken out by lightning, which is pretty prevalent right now. And just seeing all of the opposing skeleton barrows and whatnot, the Skeleton King obviously makes sense as well. We're going to go with the Witch here as he goes with a Graveyard. So we're just going to go ahead and log this. And then I'm just going to go right on top of this here with the Skeleton King. Should be pretty solid. Skeleton King has quite a bit of health. It's pretty important in the deck just to be able to have a better cycle with a potential 3-card cycle and whatnot. I'm going to go and Lightning this. I think that makes sense. But if you don't have the Skeleton King, something like a Valkyrie works just as well. And if you don't want to go with E-Wiz, you know, I would either opt for, you know, maybe a Firecracker, or even opting for something like a Road Delivery just to get a that ability to have like a second spell or a second lighter spell, which really helps. We're gonna go Skeleton Barrel here. Skeleton Barrel with the Evil Witch is absolutely amazing, especially if you can pair up the Evil Skeleton Barrel with the Evil Witch and you kind of send them down like opposite lanes. Even works really well. I'm gonna go Skeleton King here, and this should be pretty solid. I'm thinking of doing something like this. That's a pretty interesting placement right there. I'm gonna go Lightning. I don't think we got the Knight, which is really nice there. I'm gonna go ahead and log this actually, and the Evil Knight's gonna have to contend with that first, or all the skeletons at least. And then I'm gonna go for the Evil Witch here, and just to cycle that in the back. And obviously we're going to go for something like the Skeleton Barrel. I'm going to go for the Skeleton King here just to kind of block that and prevent that Graveyard from having too much effect, and forcing him to go with something like a Barb Barrel is just great right now. I'm going to go with a Log here as well, force him to drop some more Elixir. I'm going to go ahead and Lightning this. I think he might drop something there, or he's going to go for the Knight in the back. That works too. The Witch is staying alive, and we are going to take out most of that tower, if not all of it. That Barb Barrel is definitely not going to do it. Skeleton Barrel is going to clean things up for us. Good game, well played. Let's get on to another one. All right, next match here. Keeping things going. Really fun stuff with this deck. You just have so much that your opponent's got to deal with, and if your opponent's got something like the Mother Witch, that's what Lightning is here for. If you want to go with something like the Fireball instead, that also makes sense. Just realize, you know, some of the drawbacks that there is with going with Fireball instead of Lightning and vice versa. I'm going to go Roll Hog since he gave up his Fireball. I'm wondering if this is going to be RG, but with Fireball. Seeing guards, you know, definitely could still be RG. But I'm going to go for Skeleton King here, probably. Yeah, I'm gonna go Skeleton King now. I think that makes sense. And I think we're just gonna hang out here for a second. It's definitely gonna be RG. Seeing all of this, I'm gonna pop the ability. I think it's worthwhile just to kind of damage down the Fisherman at least, and then we can go for something like the Tombstone and go for, oh, he popped the ability. That was really well played on his end right there. Wasn't really expecting that. I'm gonna go for the Witch. We're slowly gonna be able to damage everything down, so that's gonna be great. So we will get the Witch healthy enough to where that Fireball won't be able to take things out. But we're gonna take a boatload of damage right now, which is totally fine. Let's go with the Barrel right there. I'm gonna go with the Roll Hogs afterwards. Yeah, he's gonna go for a Log over there, and he's gonna go for Fireball, which is gonna be great, but he had that Fisherman ready, so that's pretty well played on his end. So this is gonna be a tough matchup for sure, just especially with how we started right there. Not all that great, but we can go for a Skeleton King again, but this time we'll push it down the left side. But I'm gonna slow roll a Tombstone first, I'm gonna go with the Skeleton King. I'm gonna go with the Ewiz as well. That way, I think we can probably prevent damage from that Roll Giant, which is nice. Nice. We're gonna get a lot of stuff here. We'll pop the ability as well. And that Monk does not get to save him this time. He's going to have Fireball for sure, but he's going to miss one of the Roll Hogs. So that's one of the really, really nice things about timing things the way I did. But he's going to have a pretty decent push here that we have to contend with. I'm going to go Tombstone. Go for the Ewiz as well. I'm going to go for the Log. And this time we get it in before he pops that ability. Let's go Skeleton Barrel right here. This very much so can make sense depending on how he chooses to play this. He does have Log, or he can just wait forever. We're going to Lightning that, and that Witch right there is going to sneak in that last hit that we need. Good game, well played. Really, really solid stuff. Just continue to keep the pressure up once, you know, we got a little bit of momentum building up. Good game, well played. Let's get on to another one. All right, next match here. Keeping things going. And Skeleton Barrel to start out, always solid. Worst case scenario to activate like a King Tower or something off of, you know, with the help of Tornado. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen this time around. I'm going to go for the Witch. I'd rather opt for the Witch. If I have the Witch and the Ewiz, I'd rather go for the Witch just to get that cycle rolling, of course, and get to the Evil Witch, which is obviously the name of the game with this deck. So Witch is going to start damaging down that Musketeer. Pretty massive stuff. Let's go with the Ewiz. And I think we could just hang out here. So he's going to go for a Knight in the back. I'm going to go Roll Hogs on this side. See what we can get out of him. I don't think this is going to be Balloon or anything like that. Although it's still very possible. I'm going to go for the Tombstone here. I'm going to go Skeleton King up high here. I think I dropped it. Oh, okay, that's still enough, I guess. I'm going to pop this ability here. Help damage everything down and maybe get some skeletons. This is why having King Tower activated is so critical with a deck like this, just to help you out. You don't have Bomb Tower, you don't have Tesla, you don't have a building that does damage besides spawn skeletons and, you know, potentially deal some damage. So that's one of those benefits there. I'm gonna go Roll Hogs around this Firecracker. So obviously he's only gonna be able to hit 2 of them, maybe 1 of them if I had placed it a little bit better. So this is going to be a Mega Knight and Prince deck, which is going to be great, at least for this time around, unless he's able to get that Mega Knight in front. We're going to go Tombstone here. And if we need to, we can definitely go for the Evil Witch. We might need to. I'm going to do that just in case. That Prince was just outside of range of our King Tower, so I wanted to be really, really careful there and not give him a free, you know, potential Prince hit. So that's what I did that for. Let's go with Lightning here. And let's see. We might want to go with our Skeleton King, actually. I'm going to go for the Log. And I think that's going to actually help preserve our Witch, for at least for a little longer. That worked out. I'm going to go Witch here. I'm going to go with the Skeleton Barrel on this side. This is the one time I'm really hoping the Skeleton King was in front, but it didn't work out that way, unfortunately. Oh, he's going to drop a Prince there before he drops that. That makes sense. Let's go Tombstone up high here. That should draw that Prince over, and he's going to have more than enough to deal with on that side. Then we're probably going to... I would love to have gone for Roll Hogs there. I'm going to go Lightning. Maybe a bit overkill, but I'm going to go ahead and log this. Going to go with the Skeleton King afterwards. Going to go with the Ewiz as well. Maybe limit it to just 1 hit, if any, but it's not even going to give up 1 hit, which is really nice. So we're slowly damaging him down. We got to be really careful here because just with the nature of the deck that we're running, we have to be super careful. Let's go with the Witch here. I'm going to go Skeleton Barrel up high. And he does have that on us, I will say. Let's go with the Ewiz. That should be able to stun things a little bit longer. And then he's going to get a lot of damage here, which does kind of suck. But we do have a few things here that we can get ready with. I'm going to go ahead and Lightning this. I think that Musketeer's Foot is right in that Lightning range, which is perfect. And the Witch is not, unfortunately, not going to be able to survive this time around. I'm going to go for the Witch here. Go Tombstone up high. I know he's got that Hog Rider just waiting. I'm going to go for something like a Log. should be good enough, I would say. Ewiz should be able to attach onto that. And then we're going to go with the Skeleton King right there. We'll go with our Witch up high. Let's go Tombstone. I'm going to go for something like the Ewiz, which is crazy right now, but we're going to log that and maybe take out everything right there, which is really, really nice. With 30 seconds left, we got to get something going, and we're going to get that to happen right now. He might ignore everything on that left side, or we might completely take over and overwhelm our opponent. I'm kind of surprised he didn't go with Mega Knight there, but realistically, I probably should have gone with 3 Roll Hogs to the right, but that really worked out anyways. Good game, well played. Let's get on to another one. All right, next match here, keeping things going. Let's go with the Skeleton Barrel to start out here. And I really, have found that it's not worthwhile to go super crazy early on. I'm gonna go for the Witch here. I'll just get something like the Skeleton King down here. Save the log, obviously. Once you've identified it as log bait, you have so many answers for the Witch, for the Princess, whether it's going to be Ewiz, Skeleton King, Witch, or whatever. You definitely have a lot of options. You don't have to give up your log. It's going to be your best counter, obviously, to the Goblin Barrel. So this would be interesting here. We might have to go Ewiz, which is fine. Or the Witch can hopefully take out the Princess, which would be great. I'm going to go for something like the Roll Hogs here and see what he's got besides that. I mean, that might be enough to counter just because. So nothing doing there, but we can go for the Skeleton Barrel here. And one thing that's pretty useful about the Skeleton Barrel is you can use it as like a defense against anything that hits air, which is really nice. And it comes pretty handy in certain scenarios. I'm going to get my Skeleton King ready here just in case he goes either side. But it looks like he's just going to go in the back. So I'm going to go Skeleton King here. And Ewiz is going to probably still get a hit, which is really nice. I'm just going to go log here. And I was betting 100% that would have hit, or that he placed that perfectly, because if he did not, that definitely would have come back and bite us in the butt. Let's pop the ability here. It's going to force him to drop a lot of elixir, because the Skeleton King is going to spawn some skeletons as well. That's pretty nice overall. Not too bad. Not as much value as I would have liked, but I'll take it. I'm going to go with the Roll Hogs here. I'm going to go for the log. I figured he might go for skeletons, and that's a perfect prediction right there. Really, really nice stuff. Forcing him to go, kudos to him. He played that pretty quickly and recovered. So the one thing is now we're kind of open for a Goblin Barrel. Yeah, just like that. But Ewiz is going to be perfect there. Kind of help clean up the Princess. And then we can probably go for something like the Roll Hogs here. And we'll have 3 going down the right lane. The thing with this deck is you got to be totally okay going with some split lane pressure. And we're going to pop the ability here, actually. So that's going to be nice. I'm going to try and get whatever he drops on top with the Princess, but it looks like he's going to be able to hold things off a little bit. So pretty well played there on his end. We have Ewiz if he decides to drop that Princess. I'm going to go for the Tombstone here. I'm going to go log. That's right on target. So I'm going to probably go for the Ewiz over here. I need to keep the split lane pressure up. And we'll go with the Skeleton King afterwards. I'm going to go for the Witch here. Pretty well played. We're only going to give up 3 hits per Goblin. He was able to perfectly time that rocket, so kudos to him there. We're going to go for the Skeleton King. Or we're going to go for the Skeleton Barrel. And look at that. We have so much right here on the map. And he's going to have to contend with all of it. We're going to pop that Skeleton King ability, and that right there is should be a lot of value. We'll drop this Lightning, take out that Princess as well. Really, really nice stuff. Let's go Tombstone. And I know he's got that Goblin Barrel just waiting and waiting. We'll go for the log. I'm surprised he's not going for any trick barrels. Maybe there's a method to the madness there, but we're going to go Skeleton King here anyways. Start collecting some of those souls. And we can go with the Skeleton Barrel in the back. And we can just go for the Witch here. I'm going to learn my lesson and not get caught again. I'm going to go for the Ewiz there. If he wants to pop it there, that's totally fine. We're gonna go lightning here, take out that princess as well, and we're gonna go for the roll hogs. And look at all the stuff we have. We're gonna go skeleton barrel on this right side, and he's gonna give up a lot of elixir there for that rocket, which actually worked out pretty well for him. So definitely good for him there. I think that's a little back. So we're gonna go for a log, and that is perfect. Let's go skeleton king here as well. I'm just gonna cycle him out at this point. Take out those 1 elixir skeletons with that, which is absolutely hilarious. Gonna go with that there, and we should be able to take out that last skeleton. And even with that, that's going to be good game, well played. We'll drop that lightning to finish things off. Really solid stuff against log bait. As you can see with this deck, if your opponent really only has log and princess, in this case to kind of help clean up all that swarm, they're going to get absolutely overwhelmed with this deck. Keep that split lane pressure up. That's going to be your key to victory against most matchups. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as I continue to play around with different decks, different win conditions, and especially the skeleton barrel being so good this season. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe for more.